All right, guys, thank you for joining us tonight. Again, I have a guest on tonight. This is Farmer's Sons Prepping. Again, I like his channel. Listen, there are a lot of channels out there I like, and there are a lot of channels out there I don't like. What I like about his channel is that, how do I say this? When he started it, I remember pretty much the first video, the first time he started his channel, and I was just impressed that he decided to get off his ass and do something about it and start talking about it and showing
Yeah,
people what he's doing, because there's so many different avenues of prepping and there's so many different people who are doing things differently. He decided to again, not just whine and what you call about it. He actually shows us what he's doing. So I like the fact that when guys like him or women decide enough's enough, I want to show you what I'm doing so people have another idea. He does things slightly different than other preppers would, and that I also like his personality as well. So that being said, guys, this is Farmer Son Prepping. Sir, introduce yourself.
yes, I am Farmer Son Preppin. I'm from East Central Alabama. So yeah, a country bumpkin, I reckon you could call me. And yeah, I just do me, and I prep the way I feel like I need to. And that may not be the same as everybody else, but that's okay. That's what makes the world go around. It's different folks doing different strokes.
Very good. So, guys, as you know, today we were going to talk about how bad will it hurt, meaning the entire situation, everything that's going on. But I guess while preparing for this, there was a school shooting, and apparently the deaths are now up to 20 kids and still one teacher. Which is, listen, guys, it's going to get extremely bad now with a lot of different things. I don't think this is going to be the game changer, but this is definitely going to set the pace for the gun grab. And I hate to say it that way, but that's how I'm looking at it these days. Again, there was a book written called "Behold a Pale Horse," and in that book, this guy talks about these school shootings in the 70s or early 80s. This book came out. So now we're starting to see these things happen in droves. I think we're going to see a more grand shooting, which I hope we don't, but I just have this bad feeling we are. Um, and the catalyst guys right now, people are again talking about stricter gun laws, and if not, taking away guns completely. So, what are we going to do? There's not much we can do in this case. I mean, listen, there's a couple of things we can do in this case as far as standing our grounds, but when you start involving kids, you change the dynamic of the conversation completely. And that's
Definitely.
right, and that's the problem. Um, so what is your opinion on this matter?
Uh, I'm like you. I think the left is going to use any sort of emergency tragedy, which this is a tragedy. There's no doubt about that.
Right.
But they're going to use this to prolong or to progress their agenda to make it more gun grabbing, more laws, more red flag, more whatever it is they can do that gives them more power and us less.
Exactly. And it's funny because somebody in the chat just said guns don't pull the triggers. And you're right, Timothy. But the problem is that we have these cases popping up, and there are going to be more sympathetic hearts, right? So, I undoubtedly know by tomorrow, if not later this week, you're going to hear uh, gun guys giving up their shit. We saw a couple of gun guys. I think it was the Sandy Hook shooting, right, where they took all their guns and the guy like crushed it with a steamroller or something like that. Like, you're gonna see things like this happen, and it's insensitive. And I'm gonna admit, I'll be the first to tell you, man, it's insensitive to talk about situations like this, but nonetheless, it needs to be addressed because if we don't talk about it, if we start getting sympathetic and don't get me wrong, I am sympathetic to the situation. Kids getting killed is not taken lightly, nor should it ever be taken lightly. But the left is already talking about stricter guns, and if not, taking guns away completely. They're already starting this talk, guys. It was 3 hours after this incident happened, and they're already talking about gun control.
Mhm.
So this is a conversation that's going to be going on for the next probably week or two. So just prepare for it on different channels. I might do one video on it, and that's it. Put it to bed. But we're definitely going to see some interesting shit over the next couple of weeks involving this. Now, switching fucking gears, because we could talk about this all fucking night. Actually, I know, for example, you live in Alabama, so I know that you're a Second Amendment guy.
Yeah.
Being that you actually own firearms, and I don't, right? Because I'm in the fucking great communist country of New York. How would you address a situation like this from ever happening again?
Ooh, that's a good question. It's a hard question, and I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I've got an answer because I really don't. Should the guy be? I mean, from what I understand, the guy's already lost his life anyhow.
Right.
Uh, so that's the kind of questions we need to be asking. Absolutely. Um, how could it have been prevented? I don't know.
Well, interestingly, you said that. How could it have been prevented? It seems like the guy just waltzed into the school and started having at it. Um,
Yeah.
and I guess one of the ways now is lock the school doors like you used to. Put panic bars,
Right.
put panic bars on the inside, and that's one way of preventing people from just showing the fuck up and doing what he did, or hell, even just snatching kids out of schools. But
We're
I know,
doing that in churches already. Churches have security teams.
okay,
My church has a security team. I'm on it. And after all the patrons come in for church, we lock the doors. And it's sad that it has to be like that, but it's the best thing for us to do. So
that's interesting. I didn't know that the churches did that. You know, oh, that's pretty.
some do.
Oh, that's really cool. All right, I didn't know that. Listen, that's what might need to be done in schools. I know here in New York they do it in schools. They have school safety officers. They're like security guards or glorified security guards. They don't carry guns. I think one officer does, and that's like the sergeant of them, but the rest of them don't. But they're just a deterrent. They're not really able to do much. Uh,
They're a visual deterrent, supposed to be.
right. I mean, listen, not for nothing. If someone shows up to the school with a an AR or a decent handgun, a deterrent like school safety officers is not going to matter, right? Because if you know those guys are unarmed, they're moving targets, or what they are for you. But they did introduce this was a few years back. They would introduce something where they wanted teachers to be strapped, right, to start carrying. And it looks like they might have to go back to that. Uh,
I'm I'm pro that as long as they get the training that they need to get. Um, I'm kind of for that. For them carrying a lot of. I know my sister. She's 6 years younger than I. She carries. She works in an office building every day. I know a lot of women here around here that carry already anyway,
right.
and teachers would be in that. Some teachers would be doing that already anyway. I would think.
It's funny. I used to like so one side of me thinks teachers should be, they should be carrying. But another side of me is like, you see these psych patients out here, these teachers, these, uh, liberal mongering teachers. I'm like, do we really want one of them, carrying? So it's a double edged sword now, because you're like, it could protect the kids potentially, but then if this asshole loses his or her, they lose their shit over the pronouns being wrong, you know. And people are like, that'll never happen. Don't put anything past these liberal psych patients. They really don't.
Yeah.
But with that, man, how bad do you think things are going to get for the rest of this year? Now, this is a question I'm going to be asking every guest that comes on moving forward. How bad do you think the rest of this year is going to get?
I think it's going to get pretty bad, especially with the food being uh, the way it's getting. With diesel not having diesel, things aren't going to get delivered. The system's going to break down pretty quick. When things run out of diesel, it's going to get real bad.
I hear you, man. And that's my thing. Like, are we gonna see, do you think we're gonna see confrontations in regards to food and gas?
I hope not, uh, but likely. I believe there is a likelihood of that.
That sucks. So now my next question: do you think there's going to be any relief in sight in regards to food and fuel?
No,
Uh-huh.
sir.
Oh, yeah, that sucks. I mean, no, because I'm sort of thinking the same way, but I'm picking everybody's brain. Now, 70 days left of food, so we're told, or 10 weeks. Sorry, right? 10 weeks left of food. That's around the world. Do you think we'll be seeing starvation and or cannibalism?
Probably maybe by next summer. Cannibalism, maybe if there's no food. Starvation, yes, definitely.
Oh, he said by next summer. You're being generous. You're giving people time. All right.
Yeah.
That's what that. Listen, um, I really do hope we don't see that kind of shit in our lifetime, but I think we will.
Yeah.
Be charming. Thank you for that. Thank you for correcting me. It's 10 weeks of wheat, not food. You're right about that. It's 10 weeks of wheat left. Some people are saying maybe less than that. Somebody said less than 90 days or 60 days or something like that. I don't know. Listen, I read the article. I think definitely a lot of countries are going to feel that pain. I don't think we're going to suffer too much. I think we're probably going to export some wheat between us and Canada. Going to export it to other countries, which is going to put us on the line of being short a lot of things like bread and things of that nature. But I don't think we're going to suffer like other countries will be suffering in the next few weeks. Um,
Hope you're right.
yeah, I hope. Yeah, I guess, man. I don't know. It's just I feel like this whole 10 weeks of well, okay, so the reason why I said 10 weeks of food, that's why I said it, because a lot of the stuff is made from wheat, is made into other foods like pasta, bread, things of that nature. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a shit show for a lot of countries, man. And I mean, yeah, you're old enough to remember Ethiopia, right? And Somalia and the
Yes.
starvation on there, right? I think we're going to see that and probably triple, quadruple the amount of countries. We're probably going to see that kind of shit go down. I don't know, man. Now, what would be your recommendation to preventing something like this in your household?
Definitely stack up whatever it is you normally eat, whatever that is. If it can be stored for long term, I would be doing that. Uh, Basically, just get everything you can get right now. What's left on the shelves and everything. Buy food, store food, have it on hand just in case. Canned goods, dry goods, freeze dried goods, whatever you can lay your hands on right now, I'd be getting it.
I hear that, man. Now, do you do by any chance do you do canning?
I do not do canning. It's canning for one person. It doesn't really. It's not worth it. By the time you buy the canner and cans and jars and lids, and I could have went and bought a can of beans for one person because I'm just one person living here by myself. So it doesn't pay for one person. If you have a family, yes, definitely do that.
Okay. Hell, I would have thought the opposite. I would have been can if I was by myself, no kids, I'd be canning like you wouldn't believe. Now,
I have done some canning. I have a food saver, the food saver attachments. I do dry canning with those.
okay, all right, all right. Now, here's my bigger question. would you, provided you had enough food, would you share it with your neighbors or family?
Family, yes. Neighbors, sorry.
Nice. The fact that you thought about it, he was like, no. He's like, not my neighbors. Fuck them. Yeah, very good, man. Yeah. I mean, listen. Now, would you or nah, how do I want to ask this? Okay, yeah. Would you store? Let's just say you had enough for yourself for 5 years, right? Would you keep
Okay.
storing food away so that you could possibly share with again family members or a
Yes.
straggler? Okay.
Yeah, definitely. If I thought I had enough to share, uh, and like one or two people wasn't going to kill me or whatever, or maybe even five or six. If I thought I had it to give and I would still have, I would absolutely share. Yes.
Nice. He's on it one day. Some Joe FW says he goes sharing. It would all be gone in one day. Yeah, I guess if you
Yeah.
give it to an asshole, that's why you got to make sure that you don't give it to an asshole. I mean, I think I don't know how to simplify that, but you got to read people. You got to become good at reading people during a shit's the fan because the problem is you could become too paranoid and skeptical of everyone that crosses your fucking path. You're like, oh, I don't trust that
Yeah,
dude.
I'm
I don't trust
telling you, in SATF, the door's going to get answered with a firearm. And whoever's knocking, wanting whatever, or to barter or whatever, they're gonna have a firearm in their face until they get searched by my team who's gonna search them. So uh, you can't play. You really can't.
no, no, and thank you for saying that because that the trust factor almost goes to zero in a situation like that, right? So you
Yes.
thought you knew somebody, but now they're starving. You could almost guarantee they're going to do some shit just to get that food, and they're going to become a different person to get that food. So yeah, the
Yes.
trust factor drops to like zero, man. Um, yeah, that sort of sucks. Sort of does suck. But with that, how do you think? Okay, where do you think fuel prices are going to end up by the fall?
Gas, $7, $8 a gallon. I'm gonna be conservative on that because it's been kind of moving slow. It's been going up, mind you, but it's been going kind of slow. Diesel probably $10 a gallon, or maybe even more.
Wow, $10 diesel, $10. Yeah, they were saying that a gas station in Washington or gas stations in Washington State started reprogramming their pumps to hit $10 for the increase, the possible increase in gas. They said, they didn't say it was going to increase that high, but they were getting ready for it. Must be Gem said $10 to $15. I'm like, yeah, listen, guys, at this point, it's all a fucking guessing game. Uh,
Right.
we we can't sit here and tell you exactly what's going to happen and how it's going to happen. All we could tell you is that the possibility of these things happening. Um, sorry.
Yeah, I don't like making these kind of predictions. That's stuff that false prophets do, and I'm trying to stay away from the whole false prophet deal. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if you look at what's been happening, okay, I remember gas when it was 70 cents a gallon. That's uh, and so all it's done is go up since I've been older and older and older. So it's going to go up. How much we do not know.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm gonna tell you, like I said before, people are gonna get priced out of driving probably after the summer. I think it's gonna be too expensive for those. But the other problem we're gonna start seeing more and more of, which we started seeing a couple of months ago, was people stealing gas out of cars. So we're definitely gonna see more of that. Um,
Yes.
if you're on the city, if you're on the city streets like New York, there's not much you can do about it unless you sleep in the car, right?
Mm.
If you have a garage, I think people shouldn't put their car in the driveway or on the driveway. They should put them in the garage just to minimize that happening. But I would almost think that if you had a house like this is how most inner city people think, or at least people like myself. Anybody who has a home, outside of New York City has a gun. So going onto their property and trying to drill a hole under their gas tank is not a good idea.
Probably not.
Right, right, and then depending on states like again Texas, Alabama, Tennessee, shit, any other state that's not New York or California, you have a house, you're probably going to get shot. Just trying to look under somebody's car, let alone stealing the gas. It's going to get you full of
A
holes.
lot of states down here where I live have what's called castle doctrine. We have stand your ground laws or
Okay.
protect your home laws, whatever you want to call it. Uh, and that law is actually on our side as the gun owner. If someone's breaking into our house, do what you got to do.
Well, that's good. Here in New York, if you, for example, if you're on the first floor and the guy with a gun comes in and you own a gun, they want you to bail out of the window before you shoot him. Yeah, right. So imagine
Yeah,
you got a gun, the guy he has a gun, you both can get into a shootout. But now the other problem is when you live in a city like New York, you have to be really conscious of your neighbors upstairs, downstairs, and side to side, right? So getting into a shootout in an apartment is not ideal. The criminal probably not give a fuck, but you as a responsible gun owner,
right.
you need to be responsible and think about all of those things. And that's what
And
sucks.
I've actually lived in apartments before, probably nothing like what you're talking about, but when you're living in apartments, it's safer to know who your neighbors are anyway. It's part of that. Hey, how you doing?
Right.
You know who's going in and out and why they're going in and out, all that stuff. So it's good.
That is true. I do hate my fucking neighbors. That's for sure. But like not all of them. I mean, like the lesbians next door, they're pretty nice. They've always been nice to us. They always said hi. There's an old lady down the hall from me. She's nice, but you got a couple people that you wouldn't mind kicking down a flight of stairs.
Sure.
Right. So, but it's funny here in New York, man. It's not like like where you're at, where things are a little more friendlier. Here people are just like, leave me the fuck alone. I'm going to be in and out of my apartment building. That's it.
Yeah.
Um, I do find it interesting though when you go to other states and people say hello to you for like out of the blue. You're looking at him like, what the fuck kind of game you running? Because that's the part
Right.
of the trust thing. You don't trust somebody when you fucking someone's saying anything to you other than get the fuck out of my way. Now, what do you think about this monkeypox?
I think it's coordinated, planned. I think it's just the next wave of many more that are coming. Uh, you know, that's my opinion on the whole monkeypox or whatever.
Right.
Uh, there's going to be one, whether it's monkeypox or anthrax or whatever. The next one is they're going to be like this until the good Lord takes me home, probably more likely.
Oh yeah. I definitely see more shit coming this way. I don't think this is it, but I do think this is getting people nervous. At least the normies here in the city, they're definitely getting
Sure.
nervous. They're like biting their fingernails and like, oh my god, they're gonna lock us down again. I'm like, whatever, man. They lock it down. They lock it down. Fuck them. I'm not staying home. I mean, I didn't stay home the first time. I'm not staying home the second time. But
You're only locking down if you let them lock you down.
right,
So,
right. And thank you for saying that, because when they started doing that shit, they started playing that shit. I was like, I'm not fucking staying home. They can eat a dick. And then I was outside doing what I was supposed to be, doing what I was doing. But I went camping, and then I had to camp on somebody else's land, Old Mutt. I had to camp on his land because the state parks wouldn't let you camp there. Whatever. And the crazy shit is, I was asking a park ranger. I was like, well, what happened if you just like made pretend we weren't there, and then we went in camping? He goes, and we went in deep. He goes, we'd probably tow your car and give you a $300 ticket. I was like, what? He goes, yeah. He goes, I wouldn't do it. He goes, if you walked in there right now, he goes, I'd leave you alone. He goes, but the next guy after me or the guy after that, they said they might hit you with a ticket. I'm like, seriously?
yeah.
He goes, yeah. Go. So I said, with that, I said, fuck it, I'm gonna go to my buddy's land. And we went out there and we camped. But yeah, I'm not gonna let a lot restrict us. Though when you live in a city like New York and everything shuts down, there's not a lot for you to do.
True.
You're pretty married to your fucking your apartment. But with that, do you think they're going to carry this torch with this monkeypox further than they did COVID, or do you think this is just testing in the waters?
I think they're gonna try to. Uh, I think it's a testing of the waters, see how far they can go. Okay, they got us a lockdown on the first time. What can they get done this time? You know, that type of thing. More power, more power, more power. That's what it's about.
So, right, interestingly enough, the World Health Organization is asking for more control. I'm sorry, the way they label it, more cooperation with the countries that are involved in whatever might be going on. Um, it's just funny how they made this finding, if you will, in a report they released a month ago, back in April, a month ago, yeah. And now this thing rears its ugly head. It's almost as the timing is just like fucking on the nose. Fucking New World Order.
Yeah.
All right, Steven says, fucking New World Order. Well, yeah, we know that. But
Yep.
I think me personally, the New World Order is all over the place. I don't even think these guys got it together because Russia and China are trying to start their own thing, right? Who is looking for more control over the entire world? You got what's his name? Klaus Schwab, and his little group starting their own shit. So at one point we used to think New World Order was, you know, one world government, but it seems like there's like two, maybe three different sects trying to start their own shit, which is probably going to start the next world war. Excuse me.
Well, my opinion on that is some things would have to happen before you could have a one world government.
Sure.
All these governments are going to have to get their people under control first, and then they'll start melting together. Whatever. That's my opinion, or that's my thoughts on it.
Well, right. That, and you know what? I'm in line with your thinking. Something catastrophic has to happen for them to get control of all of us, right? But it has to be a world catastrophe and not just, happening in this country, happening in that country. It has to be some shit that hits us almost all at once.
A
And
global something global. Yeah,
right.
I agree.
Someone said is getting STD from the toilet seat. Monkeypox is like getting STDs from the toilet seat. I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I guess Randy. Yeah, listen, the problem with it is people are saying that the monkeypox is sexually transmitted. It's not sexually transmitted. It is being transmitted sexually, but it's not classified as a sexually transmitted disease, even though it is presenting itself as such. It's still, you can still get it from, standing too close, high-fiving somebody, rubbing somebody directly on one of their lesions. And that's
Close contact, basically.
right. And then I know a lot of people are starting to say it's shingles. It's not fucking shingles. And even if it was shingles, guys, let's just say it was shingles. It was a shingles cover up. Let's just say it was. You still do not want to fucking get shingles. Shingles is the fucking most painful fucking thing in the world. My sister had it. A guy in my firehouse before he retired a few years ago, he had it. He said he was up a week straight because he couldn't sleep. It was like his fucking skin was on fire, or as if someone was taking a knife and digging into his wounds at night. So regardless, whether you think it's shingles or not, and shingles is not, but if you think it's shingles, you still don't want to get shingles, guys. I'm sorry.
Nope.
People are like, oh, it's just shingles. I'm like, yo, it's shingles still sucks. It's like, it doesn't matter. Like, you can't downplay it to fucking something else that hurts more than fucking monkeypox. It actually hurts more than monkeypox shingles. I know, like I said, for everyone I know who had it, they said they were fucking destroyed for a week or two with shingles. So regardless, guys, I don't think it's something, right. MJ says shingles ain't no joke. He had it or she had it. He, she, it, they. Sorry, they had it. But just shit on the shingles. Just shit on the shingles. Right. So yeah, regardless, guys, shingles is something you do not want. Right. So even if they were covering it up, you don't want that shit. So avoid it at all costs. But if this thing takes off in the city, it could look like the AIDS epidemic all over again. For those of you that remember that, and there's a lot of you on here that remember that, the gay community, and not even just the gay community, but people outside of the gay community, crackheads and shit, were affected by this. Kids,
Needles. And all. Mm-hmm.
right? Kids who were getting like blood transfusions, or when they were using dental tools from one mouth to the next, they were getting it that way. So yeah, it's something that it's something that I don't know. You don't want to contend with. That's all. It's the AIDS epidemic was bad, but this I wouldn't think would be as bad because AIDS just wiped your immune system out and gave you all kinds of shit to go along with it. It's a specific problem that you're having that I guess you can have antivirals and you'll get over it sooner or later. I think a lot of people who get it, they'll be fine. I don't think they're going to die from it, especially not this strain anyway. But we shall see where this goes. But I know it's picking up right now. They got 2 new cases in, I want to say Ohio, but I'd be wrong. Somewhere out west, there's 2 new cases, suspected cases. And I think before the end of the month, so it's in a couple days, we're going to see it in a few more states popping up, especially, which I'm surprised, if this is sexually transmitted, how come we haven't seen it in California yet?
Sure.
Right? The great city of San Francisco. We haven't seen it pop up there yet.
The porn capital of the world.
Yeah, the porn capital of the world. Exactly. So, listen, with the supply chain issues we're having, right? You hear companies are now saying that they're playing catch up, or they're trying to play catch up. Do you think they will ever? Okay, no, eventually they will. But do you think they'll be able to play catch up within the next 6 months, or a year, or what?
I don't know, but I hope they're able to catch up. My last nutrient survival order took forever to get here, so they're behind. So a lot of companies that preppers buy from are behind. This depends on demand. If demand goes up, no, I don't think they'll catch up. If demand stays the same or goes down, it may catch up. It's depending on what the demand is at the time.
But doesn't it make you wonder when they they talk about an increase in demand? They never clarify why that increase in demand went up and who's demand. Yeah. I mean, like when you look at, for example, prepper supplies, we are probably 1% of this country. Some people say the prepper community is at 3%. Bullshit. Real preppers, true dyed-in-the-wool, hardcore preppers, it's about 1% of this country, right? Maybe 1.5%. A lot of freeze-dried foods are. Go ahead.
Governments.
Right. Okay. That's what I was getting at. I was thank you for saying it. He was saying the government, right? I think they're ordering a lot of this shit, because how did demand go up if only 1% of us is still, here in this country? And these guys before the pandemic were sitting pretty on, cases of this shit. Now they have to wait to get supplies. Like, it just, the demand excuse doesn't make sense. Like the demand on cars made sense because people don't want to get on trains and buses because of the COVID. I get that. So that's why people got, there were an increase in cars. But when you
even used cars went through the roof, as well.
Exactly. So now, why would demand on prepper supplies go up? Right? It's just something that bothered me every time they say, well, demands went up. And then you go, well, why did the demands on X, Y, Z? Like food we get. People are cooking at home. So, yes, there's less groceries in the store because more people are cooking at home because they don't want to go to the supermarket. But when it came to certain things, it started raising the red flag. And I started thinking, maybe the government is fucking purchasing shit for some shit they know is coming. And we have an idea of what might be coming. I don't think we know what's coming.
No. I agree.
1%. Why we sharing would wipe out the preps? 1%. That's why sharing would wipe out the preps in one day. Okay, Joe FW. All right, now I get your point. A whole half hour later, but I get it now. I got it. But we were talking about sharing with our, like family members and shit, not like with the world. Uh,
Right.
yeah, I mean, like people in this building, they're fucking assed out if shit got that bad. I would help out maybe a couple people, but then that's it. You know, the other side of the argument or the ideology of sharing is, when do you stop sharing? Right? Because once you open that doorway of sharing, you're almost married to that person sharing with them. You know,
That's true.
right? So,
And once you start doling things out, uh, it may get rough when you stop. People are going to get pissed. Well, you've been helping me this whole time. How come you're cutting me off now? Or
right.
whatever. Yeah, it's liable to get rough.
Oh, the fucking mods are on it tonight. They're handing out ass whippings tonight, from what I can see. The mods are handing out answers. So thank mods for doing what you guys do. And guys, again, you're at the mercy of my mods. I mean, like I told you, you can say what you want, but if the mods don't like it, sorry, you know. Um, I give them I gave them that trust, and so they run with it. All right. So now, what is sorry? What is your We talked about pandemics, but do you think there is something a little more nefarious or evil waiting out there, naturally or man-made?
Man made.
Yeah, that's oh shit. Hold on. Yeah, that's what I was.
If something is out there that is real bad, deadly, that is naturally occurring, you won't be able to stop it at all. You I don't think you'll be able to stop it. This man-made stuff, I think they're making the antidotes to that stuff just as quick as they're making the virus itself, whatever. Because
Well,
it's all
look,
about yeah.
yes. Well, you see, so here's the thing. Sorry. Here's the thing. If the idea is to wipe most of us out, right? That's the grand plan. Is it about money? Is it about control? Or is it about population control?
I think all three.
Be greedy. Why not?
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that. He said all three. Fuck them. He says because that's what they're probably going to contend with, right?
yeah.
Uh, oh boy, some of the people tonight. The fucking chat's out of control tonight. I don't know what it is. It's not a full moon or some shit, but some days, man, the chat's quiet, and then other days they're fucking going at it.
Yeah.
Janine said the same thing, like as you said. She said all of the above. Patricia said it too. Prep Rebel said it. Yeah, all three. Yeah, I don't know, man, because I like you can't make money from people that are dead. Like that's just the one thing. The control and the population control makes sense, but money, I'm like, if we're all or a majority of us are dead, they're no longer making that money.
Well, they're making the money now on the antidotes to these things they're creating.
That is
So I guess when they feel like they have enough, they'll be done with us.
hell, they'll be done with us. I mean, hell, when's there ever enough money? Like, when does somebody go, like, you know what, guys, we got enough. We're gonna start.
That's true. That's true. You're right on that.
Some rich guy's gonna go, I have too much money. I think we should stop. Listen. I mean, you could be right. I mean, you could be right. The problem, like I said before, going back to what I said before, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. I mean, we have other YouTube channels out there that are sitting there saying, I know exactly what's going to happen and when it's going to happen. And I'm like, eat a dick, dude. No, you don't. Because
Yeah.
listen, the people in charge are playing this by ear. I feel, sorry, like they're playing this by ear. They're going, all right, we got Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. They're distracted with that. All right, release Roe versus Wade. Now that's out there. Now people are fighting and screaming in the streets. All right, monkeypox, sneak that shit in there. As a matter of
Right.
fact, let's plant the origin of it at 2 gay men festivals, and then we'll blame it on them. you know, because listen, I mean, everybody knows where I stand with the LGBT community. I am not about to fucking believe for a second that this shit wasn't planted in their area, considering that when you look it up, there are no cases in Africa, but it started in two fucking areas well outside of Africa. Though I think
Yeah.
Portugal's pretty close to Africa still, right? I mean, and when you start thinking about it, you're like, how the fuck did it start here? And then, and I hate to say this, but I guess putting it into gay festivals, if you will, that's how you're gonna have it spread a little faster because that's what they do. They fuck all day, all day long and shit. But still, I don't believe for a second that they are the cause of it. Maybe
No,
there's
I don't either. I don't think they're the cause of it. I think they're, like you said, that may be the place where they chose to unveil this thing.
yeah.
Uh,
They were sprinkling it over motherfuckers and thinking, and the guys there, the gay guys there, thought it was fucking, fairy dust or glitter, and it was actually fucking monkeypox, like right across the crowd. Who knows, man? But still, I'm gonna tell you right now, they got set up with this one.
mm,
I mean, again, I looked at where it came from, and then I looked at Africa. I'm like, wait a second, this doesn't make any sense. This mathematically doesn't make any sense, or logistically, for that matter, doesn't make any sense. But yeah, scapegoats, apocalyptic Ben, exactly. It's just whatever. Elites like the gays. Kimmy, apparently the elites don't like them that much. If you start bullshit like this up. But whatever. Fauci's back in the game now. They're going to bring Fauci back in. They're going to put him back in the saddle. Like, what do you think of this monkeypox? He's going to like, we have to beat it and lock everything down. I'm just kidding. He didn't say that. I'm just, I could see him saying that. I don't think he would do it. But then again, who the fuck knows, man? Billy Kid weaving shit. So
I don't believe a word that comes out of that guy's mouth. Fauci was there when all that stuff in Wuhan happened. Wuhan, whatever. He's a part of it from the get go, in my book.
yeah, I mean, no, listen, big time, really. Listen, he also fucked up the AIDS epidemic, right? He started handing out a drug that I found out recently. I found out probably 2 years ago, maybe. He handed out a drug, AZT, that was when they did the study on AZT. AZT was wrecking the human body in the studies, and he did something very, and I hate to say this, smart. He made the situation, which it was really bad. The AIDS epidemic was really bad, but he made it sound worse than it really was. That he pushed this drug out onto the market before it was even ready. And then what does he do? He has all these fucking, these gay guys take this drug that destroyed them. A lot of these guys actually wind up dying from the drug, but they said they died from.
And that is why I would not take a COVID I'm sorry, I said it. I would not take one of those shots. That's
No,
exactly why.
I hear you, and that's exactly it. He pushed it out ahead of time. He killed these dudes with it, and he said, "Oh, it's gonna work," and it didn't work. And if I'm not mistaken, they don't use it now. They don't use it anymore, and they found
Yeah.
out it was pure fucking poison. Right, oil drilling. AZT killed Freddie Mercury. That was the other thing too, guys. There were a lot of people with AIDS, and they started taking his AZT, and they went down the fucking drain fast. They found out. Oh man, I have anonymous prepper. Yes, the angry truth is tonight. I think I scheduled it. We'll see. But a lot of people said that they knew people in their family who they were fine. They were diagnosed with AIDS or HIV. They were fine. They took this AZT and it fucking killed them inside of months. And then they started backing down the dosage, thinking that was the solution, and it wasn't. With that, man, anything that comes out of Fauci's mouth is a no-go. So if he says, don't worry about let's for example, he says, don't worry about monkeypox, it's all good. Do the
Worry
opposite.
about
Worry about monkeypox, it's not all good,
yeah.
Uh and then Bill Gates killed all those African kids. God damn it, I hate when it jumps like that. The vaccine he told them would help them. Yes, Pamela White, I remember that. There was an African YouTube channel, this lady. I think she was a couple of towns over, or villages, sorry, over from the village this study was done in. or test, if you will, the guinea pig test was done, and she said that the almost the entire town was killed. And of course, she has this YouTube video. This is way before the whole pandemic, and she had a YouTube channel on, and they kicked the channel off because she said that. And this is when Bill Gates started becoming a powerhouse in his field. Now he got, I guess he got her shut down because he was like, oh, she's fucking, and she was big. She was a big channel. Forgot her name. And exactly that point, who said it? RWD channel. He made a good point. He says we have a shortage of everything, but no shortage of vaccines.
Yeah.
Right? That's the one thing we don't have a shortage of. Everything under the fucking sun. But we shall see, man. Listen, they're bringing it all back, I think, man. We're going to fucking start seeing more polio cases like Hudson Valley said polio vax, but they're probably going to bring that back soon. You said earlier about anthrax. We're probably going to see attacks on that popping up. They're going to throw everything at us. They're going to be like, CDC has a fucking bunch of darts in their hands, and they're all labeled a disease, and they're just throwing them at the United States and going, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have this infection start here, that infection start there. We're going to blame.
I think that's what they're doing. They're pulling, well, let's see, we need a distraction. Let's pull this out of the freezer and get it going and, spread it. Yeah, I believe that's what's happening.
Exactly. So, Hobbs, the Brooklyn Marathon. Now, I did say early that morning when that race started that with everyone having to get the arm ticket to run, I said, if my theory is correct or our theory is correct, somebody is going to die in that race. Now, of course, somebody winds up dying of a heart attack. A 30-year-old dies of a heart attack. But what are they going to blame it on? Of course, they're going to blame it on the heat because it was fucking hot that day. And they did have an overabundance of emergency, medical emergencies or heating emergencies, if you will, that day as well. So, yes, you can absolutely look at the heat and go, that could have caused it, right? But I called it before it happened. And then it wound up happening with somebody young. If it would have happened with somebody in their 50s or 60s, I'd have blamed the heat too. I'd be like, fuck it with the heat, But it can't be, right? I mean, like, it's just, again, if every time an event happens now, somebody's leaving with a heart attack or some kind of chest pains, and you had to be up to date on your shots to enter one of these events, and you wind up succumbing to it or being sick because you had chest pains or something's going on. It's only one fucking connection to that, guys. Like, but whatever. It's all conspiracy theory talk, unfortunately, until it can be proven. But unfortunately, it will never be proven. That's where we're at right now. Everything's conspiracy until it's proven. Just messing with you. Yes, Rapture Ready, I do want a prize. I want a prize in the form of a 6-pack of Pepsi. That's my prize. So, I have to ask you this question.
Okay.
What made you start your channel? So what I said earlier was how I looked at the reason why you started your channel. But let's hear from you as to why you started your channel.
I actually started my channel because I was on somebody's live stream. They said, I'm going to go check out your channel. And I'm like, well, I don't have one. So I guess, I'm like, well, I could make a channel and you show what I do. So I just made one. After that, I just like, okay, I'm just going to do it. That's how it happened.
That's good. That's good. It's cool that, sorry. That was the catalyst for you starting a channel. Yes, Daryl. And listen, I have a shitty cough. It's not fucking but wasn't a good idea. The Pepsi and milk. That was not a good idea. Because now I'm feeling it in my fucking chest. And I'm like, I'm gonna take my chances and and clog my chest up with this Pepsi and milk. It's completely worth it. That's number one. But yeah, whatever. Yeah, listen, man, I like your channel. I like your videos. I don't watch them all, obviously. It's almost, it's almost hard to watch
Can't
everybody's.
watch all yours either. I
Yeah,
completely understand. You
it's so
know,
many. There's so many YouTube channels out there now. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch this guy today, and then watch this chick today. I'm like, all right, this guy has a really interesting
it's
video.
it's impossible. You know, I've got people that are always in my chats, but I can't never get to their channel and watch it. I just don't have time. I'm answering comments or I'm trying to figure out what to make new videos about. You know,
Right.
there's always something to do.
Yeah, there's always something to do. There's always, and that's the thing. Trying to, you have a channel, you're trying to watch other channel because you're trying to give support. You and there are people like I haven't stopped in. Was it TJ Preps? Like I haven't stopped in on her channel in a while. So she did a video. I think she said something about her health or being sick or something like that. And I started to watch the video and then I stopped because I had to fucking go do something. And it's channels like that. Like I haven't been on her channel in a while. Prepper Princess, I haven't been on her channel in a while. And it's not because I don't want to watch them. It's just, you forget after a while and then you get back to it. So I started watching their shit. So I try to stay current with everybody's channel, or at least one video or two videos a month to stay current. There's certain channels I watch almost every day religiously, like Pinball. I watch him almost religiously
I do too as well.
because he's good. He's on it. Hudson Valley Prepping, when he comes out with videos, he doesn't do them all the time because he's busy at his job. But when he watches videos, I watch his shit. He did have a lot.
Southern Prepper One. When Southern Prepper One comes out with a video, I watch that bad boy.
Yeah, I watch it too. I listen to him a lot. And then there's a couple others that I watch. I try to watch religiously. Even newer channels now. But yeah, man, it's just so many fucking YouTube channels out there now. I mean, when I started this, it was only a handful of us, man.
Yeah.
And
You are a YouTube veteran. There's no doubt. Uh, I can't imagine the things you have seen and how it's changed and all that.
well, yeah, I mean, the game has changed with so many more people. And you know what? It's not even competition. That's the one thing about this, the prepper community. I don't look at it as competition,
Yeah.
because we all bring something different to the table. Now, if we were one of those YouTube channels where we like to do stupid shit to entertain our content, for example, jumping off a cliff or driving a car in a tree to see the fucking airbags, those channels, they have competition with each other because other channels are trying to see who can do the more dangerous shit, right?
Exactly.
We just sit there and go, well, he cans like this, but let me show you this way on how I do it. Not saying it's better, but this is how I do it, Or yeah, I just watched this lady can this way. I did exactly the way she said it, and it turned out like this, And that's how we carry the torch or pass the baton, if you will, from channel to channel. This is why I like it,
Yeah, me too.
Magic Prepper. That was another one. Magic Prepper is another one I watch. I watch at least like his more important videos. I try not to watch gear review videos anymore because there's so many fucking videos out there to watch. But yeah, Canadian Prepper. Please don't get me started on him. I mean, it's whatever. I don't want to start. I do not want to go down that fucking rabbit hole. But yeah, it's. I do find it, reassuring that we're not at each other. Like even channels I don't like, we're not at each other's throats. Trying to outdo one another. Though there was a guy called Secret Stuffs, and he still has his channel. The guy's a fucking asshole, but he did shit like, try to put other channels down and stuff like that.
He called out, he called out some other channels and found out some inside information on another channel, and yeah, he dished dirt. He did that.
Yeah, he was a bit of a bitch, Not he is a bit of a bitch. And then there was the other guy, what's his name? Unapologetic Asshole. That was another one. So like you see these two guys, they come up on the scene, and one guy's like a gossiping girl bitch, and the other guy's just like a, it's my way, the right way, or it's no way channel. And that
pisses me off. I was watching a review for a water filter the other day, and this guy He's like, this is the only way to go. This is the only way you should be thinking is get this filter. And I'm like, really? The only way to go? Come on, dude.
Yeah, really, really. It's yeah, that do it my way or the highway kind of shit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Seriously, dude, there's like 1,000 ways to do different things, and even then, um, you know, there are 1,000 different ways to do shit. But I get like why some people, you know, will say, "Oh, it's my way, the only way," because maybe they only know that way, you know, and they didn't entertain all the other avenues of how to do stuff. That's why I mean, like, listen, I learned shit from Canadian Prepper. I believe it or not, I learned shit from Full Spectrum Survival. You know, I learned shit from these guys when I first started prepping, but when they started going down the hole of if you don't get this, you're going to die bullshit, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
You could sell gear by saying, listen, your life will be a lot. For example, when I do my um, solar power video thing, right? When I do the video on that, it's simply going to be tired. This can make your life easier. That's it, right? I'm
Yeah.
not going to say if you don't have this, you're going to die. Oh, by the way, go to my website and get X, Y, and Z. You know, like a lot of YouTube channels do that.
Yes.
You know?
Canadian Prepper usually definitely does that. And here's the link if you need one. Here's the link right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Hey guys, you're
so
about to go broke and poor. Do me a favor, visit my store. I'm like, listen, if don't get me wrong, if the guy is selling, you know, like shit that preppers need, I'm all for it. But
yeah,
if things that preppers don't need, then yeah, it doesn't make sense to fucking sell. Like freeze dried food or I don't know, water jugs, you know, square water jugs or brick water jugs, things that's like shit preppers need. But you know, to sit there and be like, yo, if you don't get this fucking multi-tool, guess what? You're gonna die in your car in the next car accident. I'm like, oh my god, how bad is this? You know, I mean, like, I get
right.
people. I listen. Here's the other thing. I understand people are trying to make a buck. I understand people are trying to sell. I get that. But now we are in an era where let's be concerned about everybody else and not our pockets, just for a change. This is not going to last forever. You know,
That's a yes.
Tommy Slaughter, Bear Independent. I like Bear Independent. I think he's on the level. The problem is, and I see it when you look at Bear in a video, you're like, this guy's kind of arrogant. When you meet him in person, it's not the same dude you see in the videos. And he does, and it's not arrogance as he comes over direct, right? So there's a difference. I like Bear.
I like Bear, but the only thing I don't like about Bear is if you're not on Patreon, you ain't shit, and that pisses me off. And he says it every video. Well, if you were on Patreon, you'd have such and such videos. And I'm like, well, look, dude.
Well, yeah, listen, like I said, people trying to sell, you know, whatever they're trying to sell. But what I watched Bear do in what was it, Kentucky?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of motherfuckers wouldn't have done that, like at
Yeah.
all. All right. So and he made, you know, and he didn't have to. He did not have
Right.
to. He let me ride along with him on one of the visits to a home, and I got to see a way different side of him. I was like, this isn't the video, dude. What the fuck's going on here? You know? And he was genuine about it. So again, that's why I like him. You know, he's not. And listen, what you see in the video is actually what you get because he's a straight shooter. He's serious about his shit, and he's serious about the book. That's the other thing too. He's serious about the book. So he doesn't make any bones about a lot of shit, man. He'll tell you to do something, and if you don't do it, that's that, you know.
Yeah.
But he commands a kind of respect that I've never seen a guy who usually like people in the military, they command this kind of respect. That's the kind of respect he commands, and he wasn't in the military. But he says it all the time. You know, he doesn't fake it, doesn't. So he's about it, man. He's actually about it. That's why I like him. And Pinball's another guy. He's another fucking straight shooter.
I like Pinball. Yeah.
Yeah, Pinball, like, you know, even though like I call him old, you know, and he hates that shit. He's like this motherfucker, but you know, he's another guy. He's a straight shooter. He doesn't take any shit, you know. and he hates stupid people, and I get that from some of the things he say. He fucking hates stupid people, which is awesome because I hate stupid people and hipsters too. So shit, go ahead. You gonna say something?
No, I was agreeing with you. I
Yeah,
was just shaking my head. Yeah, okay.
yeah. But listen, guys, Alaska Prepper's good too. I like Alaska Prepper. He's another one. He's another guy that's genuine, you know. But it's different, guys, when you meet him in person. Like meeting Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. His fucking name is Mike. I don't know why I keep saying his whole title. So Mike from Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. When you meet him in person, it's he's another one that where you what you see in the videos, what you get. The guy again, he's straightforward. He doesn't mince his fucking words. It's cool to hang out with him because again, he's a straight shooter. So you're not gonna get any fake bullshit with him. Um, and I've yet to see any fake bullshit with any preppers that I've met in person. Like Prepper Nurse One, it's another guy that I met, and I'm like, oh, he's just like his videos. He's not a fake. He's not a phony. So it's good. There are a couple of people I would love to meet in person. Like Northern Girl Hobbies. I would love to meet her in person. I would love to meet Pinball in person. Right? Prepper Tribe. Love to meet him in person.
I love Tribe. Yeah.
Tribe's good. There's a lot of people I'd like to meet. I mean, listen. Hopefully, if I come down to Alabama or by Alabama, I'd meet up with you as well, man.
Absolutely. Come on down.
And there's a couple of people in the chat that don't have channels, but I was, like I said, I would love to meet them in person, just because of the years of the sharing and the respect. That's why I would like to meet these people. But that being said, guys, we have run our hour. I'm going to head over to the Angry Truth channel. I'm going to start that probably in about 5-6 minutes. I'm going to start that. And listen, guys, for Farmer Sons Prepping, do me a favor and head over to his channel. Let's get him to 1,000 at the very least, guys. I know you guys like what you heard. He's a down to earth, another straight shooting dude. Listen. He did a video a while back, and he was displaying his dismay with certain things he saw on YouTube. And after that video, I was convinced this dude is the shit, right? Like he's another straight shooter. He doesn't hide.
I'll have a little mini rant every now and then. Something will piss me off, or I'll click on some clickbait BS thumbnail, and it'll piss me off. So yeah, I have a little rant every now and then.
Well, that's good. Everybody, it's always good for YouTubers to have a rant every now and again. Bottling the shit up inside or making things look good when it's not, But whatever, man. With that, listen, thank you for joining me tonight. Guys, again, head over to his channel, show him some support and love, and let's get him to 1,000. And guys, other than that, I will see you guys in a couple of minutes, man.
All right.
Thank you and good night.